Good afternoon. It is February 1st, 2022, and you can see today mostly we were just chopping around inside this range, but we developed an upward bias pretty early on, and really it turned out to be an uptrend, and it looks like we're probably looking to make this measured move of the overnight highs and lows. So that's what I saw. I'm going to go through this. I might have missed something. I probably only got like an hour and a half of screen time today, whereas normally I get like 2 to 3 hours. So let's take a look. If I missed something, we'll check it out. So first thing I see is we're in this uptrend in the overnight. And I guess I looked at this as a failure, from this being a new low. And I can see it ticks down here, but this looks like a one-leg, two-legged pullback. So I wouldn't take this just because it looks pretty advanced. You'd have to have this trend line drawn, and maybe I would have taken it though, because there's room to the highs. It's tough when you get that first break of the channel to stick with that, and the signal bar is not great, even though it doesn't matter as much on failures. It just feels good to have a good signal bar anyway. And so we get a first break of that, and then you get a first failed second entry long here. I was thinking prices would test these highs, and it looks like they did. So yeah, they did after that. So I mean, this is aggressive. Obviously, that's far from the EMA, but you can tell that's off the trend channel, that micro channel. So we test the highs, find some resistance, and we keep making lower highs here. And after this, what looks like a quadruple top, you get a lower high, and unfortunately you don't get another lower high, or else right here I would have definitely taken that. Look how bearish that bar is, and the floor falls out, hits the midline of the overnight highs and lows, finds some support and bounces, and then all this is just very congestive. I don't know why I'm marking this failure when this is clearly congestion, but it does look like you're getting lower highs. And we are expecting prices to go down and test these lows. So, something to think about. Also, I mean, look at this. This is a first entry, second entry. You don't get a good signal bar, and then you get this lower high. And that's a great signal bar, but it's tough when you're going into this price level, even though we are expecting prices to test these. And this looks congestive, though. And it's just, there's reasons I didn't mark that, but you might have considered that. This is all far from the EMA, so probably not a good idea, even though it looks like it's a pretty clear channel down, maybe like from here, something like that. Then we bounce, and we make a new low, so probably trapping all these shorts, and you get a first entry, failed second entry short. Again, not the greatest signal bar. It doesn't close above the EMA. If it did, I'd probably mark that blue, because this is clear. This is a clear 2 legs of correction. And you could, I looked at this as a new low kind of, or like a double bottom, and first entry, failed second entry with a good signal bar. So, looks pretty good to me. I mean, if you're drawing it like that, might be considered aggressive, but that looks good to me. That looks like pretty clear setup. I think this one looks better. I don't really like these like minor corrections like this. This one looks better, but we don't know just yet if we're going higher, so I'd prefer a better signal bar. Whereas this one, it looks like we're clearly making higher highs and lows, so I like that. We form this. Well, I guess we don't know about the green channel just yet, but we bounce right here and we start going lower, and people are probably thinking we're going short. You get a second entry short right here, but signal bar doesn't end up too well, and we're thinking we might be testing the highs, so probably not the best place to jump in again. If the signal bar was good, you might take that. It's also at what I viewed as the midline of the overnight highs and this new low that we made. So it's it's a bit risky, and you can see it gets congested there. Then we bounce, and I marked from this bar, this greenish channel, but it turns out that this was probably the main channel anyway. But you can see we get bounces off this greenish channel. This bounce, no way to get in that, unfortunately, and you do get a first entry, failed second entry long. So I'm not opposed to you taking that, and I'm not too sure why I took this, but we are thinking that prices are going to make go back down to the lows, but I would think that we'd probably test these highs again. We'll see if Max says anything about that, but that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and mark that. I'll mark it green. You're going into these dojis right over here, so I don't know. But we are getting good price rejection. You can see dojis up here too. And then we bounce off that green channel. And you get a first entry, failed second entry short. It also kind of looks like a second entry long. And yeah, I was thinking we would retest these highs. It looks a little like, especially you see this shoot right through the EMA. And they probably trapped shorts on this one too. So this is an inside bar, second entry long. I just marked that, but you don't want to take them unless it's like a runaway trend day. Here you get a first entry, failed second entry long. And the reason this looked good is we made a new high. We're testing the overnight highs again. I just thought there would probably be a bunch of trapped longs. Also because of this pinkish channel, that's really just a minor channel. And so I just thought that would trap a lot of longs there. So I like that. Closes on the other side of the EMA. Then we get a first entry, second entry short. Ends up being very stemmy. I just don't like that. But it is a second entry short. The lower high is no good as a signal bar. And then we bounce off of this channel. And first entry, failed second entry. This is just congestion below the EMA, but then we shoot through, come back, whipsaw, and you get a first entry, second entry, confirming this yellowish channel. And that forms a pretty strong level of support. You can see we get what looks like it might be a failed second entry short off this this channel and off of this yellow support. That's like a double test. And then you do get a clear first failed second entry short, but it's also probably more importantly in this context the second entry long, because that doesn't really clearly look like a failed second entry short. And then that just withers away, and we come back and test this yellow price level again. Then you get a higher low. I got trapped going short here. I wasn't seeing all this. I didn't have my trend lines drawn well, so probably a lot of trapped shorts there who were paying half attention like me. Then we form this little range, but there's no counter trend breakouts, and then it just rockets up and keeps moving, and I don't see anything for the rest of the day that I liked. So I took one trade and I got trapped on it. Oh, I must have the wrong account up. But the trade I took was the one I just talked about. Right here. I looked at it as a failed second entry long, but I wasn't aware of the context because, like I said, I didn't get much screen time today. So that's important to develop your feel for the day and the context of the day. So hope you had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.